Hello everyone, welcome back to Dakota's Political Circle, and this is the final 2024 presidential election prediction. It's finally here. This is the final one I'll be doing for the 2024 presidential election. This is incredible. Honestly, I can't believe it's finally here. Tomorrow is election day based on when I post this video. Tomorrow is election day, and it is crazy to think that within the next day or so, possibly Donald Trump could actually be our president. That's just insane to think. Well, president-elect. But it is just insane to think that could be possible very, very soon. It's almost election day. You remember to get out to vote, everything like that. But I will be doing my final presidential election prediction video now. And it is slightly different from my last month, so you'll see some key differences. But I will also be explaining my answers in depth as well, because it is the final prediction after all, so I definitely want to get everything out before I end the video. Okay, but let's start this video now, and I'll also be bringing up certain aspects of certain states and stuff and why I choose them and everything like that. But you're going to be very excited for this video. This is a really great video. Final prediction. It is going to be awesome. But anyway, let's get started. So let's do the safe blue states for Harris. So Washington, Oregon, you got California, you got Colorado, Illinois, all of these states here except New Hampshire. We're not including New Hampshire for a big reason I'll show you soon. And then we got Maine. I will be making Maine dark blue, and overall, like the state itself, like not the districts. And the reason being, if I actually show you right here, Maine is not going to Trump whatsoever. Almost every single poll is almost a Harris plus 10, and I just don't see Maine shifting to Trump, even in a likely scenario. That's the reason for Maine. And let's see if there's any more. Hawaii. I almost forgot about Hawaii there. And I will also include New York. Now, I was thinking about putting it likely, but if you actually look right here, the state of New York, it is an average of Harris plus 17. I think Trump's going to overperform in New York and possibly win the popular vote because of that, but I'd probably say maybe like a Harris plus 10 by actual election day standards, maybe Harris plus 11. I'd probably say Harris plus 10. So I'd say Trump has a chance at getting it likely, but I'd say probably not. It's going to be close, but I'd probably say Trump doesn't get it in a likely scenario. I'd say it's still safe Dem for Harris, and I don't think there's any more safe D from what I can tell here. Yeah, I don't see any here. If I find any later, I'll definitely let you guys know. Okay, now let's do these safe red states. You got Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska. You got Nebraska's third, Nebraska's first, Nebraska's third, not the second. And Kansas, Oklahoma. You got Texas. I do think Trump is going to overperform Cruz in Texas and win the state by over 10 points. And then also Florida. I will show you both these states just to show you why. Trump is at 7.2, but he does usually overperform the state of Texas. So I'd say he probably gets 10 points at the very least. The state of Florida, he's getting an average of 8.5. He's going to overwhelmingly win the state of Florida safe. So I do think that's why I say those things as well. Okay, now let's do some other states. Okay, let's do the state of Arkansas, Louisiana, Missouri, Iowa. You got Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana. And I think that is all of the safe red from what actually Alaska. I almost forgot about Alaska there. Okay, now let's do the likely Harris and Walz states. So likely, I would actually say New Hampshire. And the reason I say New Hampshire will be likely and not safety, I'll show you right here exactly why. A really recent poll came out, and Rasmussen showed a Harris plus 1. One before that was a plus 3. Then there was a plus 5. Harris is getting an average of 4.5. I think Trump overperforms in the state of New Hampshire. It could even possibly be a lean margin in New Hampshire, but I don't think he's going to overperform huge margins like he would in like a state like New York possibly. New Hampshire isn't what it used to be, so I would say a likely scenario is more accurate. And then any other likely states I see here for Harris. Actually, the state of New Mexico, I think Trump's going to overperform really well in the state of New Mexico, but I don't think he's going to get a lean margin. So I think it's pretty accurate for that. And then any more likely for Harris here? I don't think there is, from what I can tell. Okay. Now, oh, actually, I almost forgot. This will be a safe margin right here for Trump. I almost forgot about that. And then let's do the likely Trump states. So I got, actually, I don't think there is any likely Trump states from what I can tell here. So I'm going to say no likely Trump states. Okay, actually, yes. Yeah, I'm right. So now, likely Harris and lean Harris and Wallace states. I actually will put Nebraska second, and the reason I put that is because Nebraska second is a very weird one to choose because Nebraska second rarely has polling. It's been an average of about 10 to 9 points, and I think Trump overperforms in that district, but I just don't see him winning it or getting it close. So I'm just going to say lean for a good bet there. And then any other lean? Yes. So let's do the state of Virginia. I think Virginia is going to be lean. It could be in the tilt column, but I'm not going to go that far. But I do think Trump does really well in the state of Virginia. I think he's going to way overperform this margin by a Harris 5.8. I think it's going to be close to the Rasmussen +2. So I do think Trump does get a lean margin. Harris gets a lean margin in the state of Virginia. And then I also think Minnesota. It could be a likely scenario in Minnesota, but my final prediction, I'm just going to put lean. I think Trump overperforms just like he will in the state of Virginia, but I think it'll be a little slightly different because I think he's more favored in Virginia than in Minnesota, but in the average, he's not. I just think he's going to get more votes from Virginia than in Minnesota. So I think it'll still be a lean margin. It'll just be closer in the state of Virginia than in the state of Minnesota. So, okay, let's do... let me see if there's any more. Okay, there is no more lean for Harris. Now let's do lean Trump states. Trump already has 219. Harris has 226. So here we go. So I think North Carolina is going to be lean. I think North Carolina is going to go to Trump in a lean margin. I know Trump's only leading by 1, but remember, he always overperforms in the state of... in the state of North Carolina. I believe Biden was leading in 2020, and Trump overperformed that as well. And then in 2016, he overperformed by a bunch as well. So, I mean, he always overperforms in the state of North Carolina. So I'd say a lean margin, in my opinion, for the state of North Carolina. Georgia, I think it'll be a lean margin as well. I think Georgia is going to do really, really well for Trump this year. It's a Trump 2.4. It could possibly maybe get a slight Harris bump, but I still think Trump gets a lean margin in the state of Georgia. Then we have the state of Arizona. I'm going to put in the lean margin because Trump is doing very, very well in the state of Arizona. I think it's going to be in line with the RCP average. I think Trump's going to have a 2.5, maybe a +3 in the state of Arizona. So a lean margin is very, very accurate in my opinion. And then here's a surprise here. I do think Trump gets Wisconsin in the lean column. Now, a little bit of people are going to be a little bit mad at me about this because it should probably be tilt in some ways. But remember, if you look at past election data, and I know Harris is technically leading in the state of Wisconsin right now in the average, but I'm not going to consider it because literally this stupid CNN poll had a +6 for Harris for some weird-ass reason. But anyway, just to show you right here, I'll just show you real quick. In 2020, Biden led by 6.7 in the average. He barely even won the state. So Trump, and also in 2016, Trump almost got a little bit over 6 as well. And I believe Hillary Clinton was leading it by around 6 or more. So Trump, on average, overperforms in Wisconsin by around 6 points. I don't think he's going to get that much in Wisconsin this time around, but I do think he can maybe get like a 4-3, in my opinion. Trump +4, Trump +3. So I do think the lean margin is accurate. I think it'll be accurate by election day. You'll see a massive surge in the state of Wisconsin. Trump will overperform in the state and do very, very well. As of right now, in my prediction, Trump already won the presidency, which is awesome. So you're going to see a lot more different gains here. You'll see. Okay, now is there any Harris... Is there any... Actually, no. Here's how I'm going to do this. The last 3 states, even though Trump already won the election in this scenario, the last three states, I will go by them without saying if one's going to be a Harris tilt or a Trump tilt. I'm just going to go by each one, and then I'm going to tell you what each one I picked for. So let's do the one that probably is the most likely for Trump. So Pennsylvania here. I got Pennsylvania going to Trump in the tilt column. And the reason I picked that is Pennsylvania always is a very weird state. It's a very odd state when it comes to the election. In 2016, Hillary Clinton led, Trump won. In 2020, it was exactly in line with polling, and Biden won. And then you got this election, Trump's leading, but what can happen in the state of Pennsylvania? Now Trump's led almost every single poll in the state of Pennsylvania. You got to realize that Trump's led almost every single poll as of late in the state, and in the month of October in Pennsylvania. So, and also the most recent polls have showed a Trump lead. So I'd say that Trump's going to win, but I do think it'll be a very, very close margin. I think it'll be probably one of the closest states in the U.S. in this election. So I would say Trump wins this state by a narrow margin. And then let's go to the state of let's go to the state of Michigan here. I think Michigan will go to Trump in the tilt column. The reason I say that is I know Michigan is a very liberal state. You got to remember, Michigan's a very liberal state to a degree. But Harris only leads by 0.4 because of this poll right here, this dumb poll. But most recent polling has had a tie and a Trump lead. But I do think Michigan, because of the Muslim vote, the Palestinians going against Harris, I do think Trump pulls out the win there because they're going to be voting for Jill Stein. I think that's the big reason here. I'm not sure if it shows a multi-candidate one for Michigan. It does show a Harris lead, which is odd. But I do think Stein, so like if you look right here, 1.3, I do think Stein overperforms with Harris's supporters. So I think that the state of Michigan will go to Trump by a narrow margin. It's going to be kind of in line with Pennsylvania, in my opinion. But remember, Michigan does vote left of Pennsylvania, so we'll have to see. But I do think the state of Michigan does go to Trump in the tilt column. And now the last state right here, the state of Nevada. Last month I picked it for Harris and Walz, and this month, the last prediction, I am going to pick Trump in the tilt column. The reason I say that is I think it's officially time for the state of Nevada to go to a Republican for the first time in a very, very long time. I think it's time for Nevada to finally vote for a Republican, and the most recent polling has showed a Trump lead. So and Trump's leading in the average as well. I know he was leading in the average in other ones as well. I'm not sure if it was 2020 exactly. No, it was not 2020. I believe it was actually 2016. In 2016, Trump actually led in the average, and Hillary Clinton overperformed by a bunch. But I do think Nevada, because of early voting and the firewall and everything like that, I do think it's finally time for Nevada to vote for Trump. So that is probably the most gutsiest one, as well as probably the state of Michigan, and also Wisconsin, because I said the lean column. But Nevada, in my opinion, is going to go to Trump, and Trump will have basically an electoral landslide in my prediction. Trump will have 312, Harris will have 226. Trump will completely obliterate Harris in this scenario, in my opinion. Now, obviously, guys, don't get complacent. Get out to vote. Vote for Trump. Vote for Republicans, especially if you're in a swing state. And I know my prediction definitely shows a lot of enthusiasm, but never get complacent, guys. Don't get complacent whatsoever. But I do think it'll be a 312 to 226. Trump wins the presidency. Trump has a sizable lead in the House. Trump has a sizable lead in the Senate. Everything goes well. Trump gets bills through the Senate and the House. He's going to make America great again, just like he did when he was president in 2016 all the way up to 2020. So I think it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be great, and I can't wait for Trump to win the presidency. But anyway, guys, I hope you like this prediction. This is my final prediction for the 2024 election. I'm not going to do any more, obviously. So this is my final one. I really, really hope my prediction comes true. I think it's very, very possible that it can come true. I think the most ballsy one is probably the Wisconsin pick here. But I do think my pick is map is not too far off. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments if you think my prediction is spot on. Do you think I should change some things in some ways? Just let me know what you guys think in the comments. I definitely want to hear your guys' opinions. Let me know if you think Trump's going to win, if you think Harris is going to win. Let me know what your opinions are in the comments. I'm really curious what you guys think and everything. But anyway, guys, this is my final prediction video. Not going to be any more after this, but I will be having my live stream tomorrow. Remember to tune in at 7 o'clock. I believe that's when my live stream starts, at 7 o'clock p.m. So I will be having my live stream. It's going to be a great stream. I can't wait to do it, guys. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this final prediction video. My next prediction video obviously will be, the presidential one will definitely be next presidential, which will be very, very interesting because there will be a lot of candidates, a lot of fun stuff to talk about in 4 years. Because new candidates, everything like that, Republicans, like you never know who's going to be running for president. So it's going to be very, very awesome. A new light after Trump, the great Trump, is going to be done being president if he does win in this scenario. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.